Some people will burn sage or Palo Santo, which are historical cleansing smokes that's used to energize and clear things. Like, for example, I grew up going to church, and where they would use the incense, and they would go up and down the aisles and do the incense thing. Maybe that would make sense to someone because that's what they've seen. That's what's made sense to them. Great, use that. So if you're sitting there going, well, how is smoke going to fix anything? Why is that going to work? Then that's not the right way to do it for you because it doesn't make sense to you. Other ways that you can cleanse a crystal. You can set it in a bowl of water overnight, or I personally like to put them under running water. That is my go-to for most crystals because it works in my own brain. Because I think about it and I put it under the running water. The running water has energy because it's being forced down, it's falling, it's got momentum. And so I think of it like kind of hitting the crystal and kind of knocking that energy out and let it run right down the drain. That makes sense to me. And so it works for me. That's how I do it. Other people set them out, put them in the sun for a day. Some people will set them out under a full moon. Some people will bury their crystals and allow the energy from the earth to absorb that negative energy and replace it with helpful energy from the earth. So there are lots and lots of ways to cleanse your crystal. And none of them are wrong, except if you have a crystal that is soluble in water, you probably don't want to put it in water if you still want a crystal. Other than that, I would say you're pretty much go-to for anything. This is a piece of selenite. Selenite, one of the properties of selenite is that it will not hold negative energy. And so if you think about it sort of like the way a magnet, if you put 2+ magnets, the 2 pluses next to each other, it's going to shove the other one away. It's the same thing. This doesn't allow negative energy to be in its energy field. So if you set your crystal on it, then it's going to push the negative energy out of the crystal because this doesn't allow negative energy in its field. These aren't all the ways. There are plenty of other ways. And maybe you'll come up with a way that works for you that isn't any of these. And that's okay. As long as it makes sense to you, then go for it. One person might say, oh, you clean your crystals by burying them in the earth for a day or 3 days or 7 days. Or you set them out in a crystal bowl overnight in the full moon, or you set them in water overnight, or you set them in the sun all day. And that's their one way. Well, that's their one way. It's not the one way.